Hello NFL fans and welcome back to the Wall of NFL YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a weekly roundup of all the news that's happened in the last week in the NFL and my thoughts and opinions on those different topics. The first piece of news for this week is, of course, the Aaron Rodgers versus the Packers situation going on in Green Bay. He still hasn't turned up to off-season workouts or mini camps this off-season, and it's looking less and less likely as though he is going to do so. When I made my NFC North predictions a couple of weeks ago now, I definitely thought he was going to turn up at some point soon, but it's looking like he isn't going to show up for a while now. He's racking up thousands of dollars worth of fines, and yeah, it looks like this is just going to be a saga that's going to go all the way up, potentially into preseason as well. If he hasn't turned up by now, and he's forfeited so much money on his contract that his contract was going to hand out to him, and he's got so many fines now, it looks like it's just not going to happen. Looking at all the sources that have come out this week, such as the ex-Packers executive Andrew Brandt on the Rich Eisen program, it's looking like Aaron Rodgers is almost a Vikings fan supervillain for the Packers. And it's so crazy to think that maybe this has been his plan ever since they drafted Jordan Love, to not show up and absolutely ruin the Packers organization. The first part of his plan was destroying the league last year and winning the MVP. And the second phase of his plan was dropping a bombshell that he wanted to retire after the season. The third was, of course, potentially orchestrating a trade to the Broncos on draft night of all nights. And it's looking like this is just the next part of his master plan to absolutely ruin the Packers for drafting Jordan Love. I don't know whether his final part of the plan is to see Gutekunst, the GM, get fired, or to get Jordan Love out of Green Bay, but I don't know, it's going to be crazy to see what's going to happen. And yeah, I'm starting to think he's a Vikings fan or supervillain, or maybe even both by the sounds of what he's doing. The other big news this week was definitely the Julio Jones trade to the Tennessee Titans. The Titans sent over a second and a fourth round pick, while the Falcons sent over Julio Jones and a sixth round pick. This could be a pretty big trade now for both teams, and the Falcons could actually be the ones to get off this deal well, as Julio Jones was 32 years old, had a big contract, and he's very injury prone at that. I think though the Titans did definitely get the good side of the deal at the moment though, as they got the best receiver in the league over the last 10 years. And even if he is only able to play 12 games, he's really going to open up that offense and make it difficult for opposing defenses to compete, as they have AJ Brown and Julio Jones now, who are going to stretch the field and going to create more running lanes and more opportunities for that run-heavy offense with Derrick Henry, who is an absolute beast and really difficult to handle. I still think the Colts are going to be winning the AFC South, but of course it's going to be a lot more difficult for them. It turns out the Titans were the only team to offer a second-round pick, as the age and injury issues, as well as that big price tag that came with Julio Jones. So I think that the Titans may have been able to still get the Julio Jones if they'd have offered maybe 2 third-round picks instead. But yeah, we're yet to see how that'll happen, and it'll definitely be worth it for the Titans anyway, as Julio Jones will be able to stay on the field for at least 12 games this season. So now that those big two pieces of news are out of the way with Julio Jones and Aaron Rodgers, I want to focus on Mac Jones and how he's doing in New England. With Cam Newton now getting injured, unfortunately, Mac Jones has the 2-week opportunity now to see whether he's going to be able to start in the NFL. He's practicing with the Patriots starters around the league, and it's going to give the coaches at New England, especially Bill Belichick, the ability to see whether Mac Jones can be a franchise quarterback. So they are definitely hoping that he doesn't suck over this next couple of weeks of practice. So far in the last few days, PFT's Mike Florio has said that Mac Jones has been struggling, and he's been slapping his legs in anger at times when he misses throws. But it's also been said that he has got to grips fairly well with the Patriots playbook so far and their offensive scheme. So I think it will be interesting as to see whether he'll cope in the next couple of weeks with the speed of the game increasing, of course, in the pros. But I think we will have to wait and see definitely until preseason to get a good look at Mac Jones and to see whether that arm is going to be good enough really to play in the NFL. It has been said that his mind really is his best asset. So hopefully it was a good start then, as he has gotten to grips well with the playbook. The final piece of news for today's video has got to be regarding all international fans around the world. The NFL is exploring new international games in Germany. And whilst I think this is a fantastic idea to expand the brand of the NFL, I'm not so convinced that it's actually going to be a very good thing. The entertainment factor for the games, international games that is not actually very high, and I find that most international games aren't that interesting to watch. Either it's a blowout or all the players look quite tired and leggy due to the jet lag and the fact that they've been on holiday all week. So I'm not convinced that it's going to be a great thing for the NFL. I have been to one game before, the New England Patriots versus the Rams, all the way back in 2012, and it was actually quite a decent game to watch, purely just because of the atmosphere and what the occasion brought. But in terms of the game itself, it wasn't the most entertaining game. It ended 45-7 to the Patriots, and Sam Bradford and the Rams just didn't really show up. So all in all, I think it could be a great idea for expanding the brand of the NFL, but I'm not all that into it, as I don't really see myself going to any games in Berlin. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's news roundup. Please check out the social media pages in the description for any other news and updates from Wall of NFL. Please also check out the website wallofnfl.com. And also, if you'd like me to make a video on a topic that you choose, please comment it down below and I'll be sure to make a video on that over the next couple of weeks. So thank you again for watching and see you in the next video.